Oh, there's one more thing you have to do at the chat window.
Okay, then chat window is this one?
No.
Was new chat window, right?
Right.
How can I make new chat window?
So these three dots is always like a settings kind of button, like a.
새 창에서 채팅. And then
So now you can take that.
this one, right?
Right.
아, 새창 여기서 새 창에서 채팅.
That's it.
응? 새창.
Dot.
And what USL?
The URL.
URL 이거를
Alright.
복사해서 어디로 가야 되지? OBS 채팅창. 아, 그걸 안 했네. OBS 채팅창에서.
Last time it wasn't there.
어.
I got you. So right now it's on the break time screen. So you have to switch it to the basic screen. So you can change it. And now you can see the chatting window. As last class's chatting window. So now you want to replace it with this one. So this one down here, this is the things that are on the screen. There's a chatting window and there's a video window. So that's the chatting window. Double click. Now you can change the URL.
where? 어디다 붙여야 돼? URL? Here? This one?
Right, that one.
아, 난 그거 못하겠다. I don't think. That's why I have a problem here. Because I cannot do this one. 하긴.
Right.
아, 안 돼.
No. That was good. I think tomorrow's gonna be.
So do you remember how much you finished the G6 지난 시간에? 10까지? So
we did poetry. I gave them poetry assignment. I got 2 students poetry assignments.
Do you still have your scan here?
The scan?
I mean, did I scan Monday?
It might be in here. I don't know if I took it out. I got a poem from Sean and a poem from Marie. They were both very good.
Sean and Marie?
Yes.
So what about others?
Talented poets. I didn't get any other poems.
Monday. What day was the Monday?
30th.
30th?
30.
30, not 31?
30.
없네 여기.
It's my birthday.
Oh really? Was it your birthday?
Yes.
I was not here. Oh gosh. Happy birthday.
Thank you. that's all, I'm just only saying 'cause that's the only reason I remember.
Okay.
I remember Monday was the 30th.
Then Dory is not here, so I have to get that one then.
On the other stick. Okay.
I'll borrow that. I will teach him. How much is he doing?
So we were just going over the example narrative essay, starting with a little bit of writing, and I was going to give him a writing assignment. He's here for 3 hours?
30's here.
Here for 3 hours?
Yes.
So I think it would be good for him to write something, and then I can go over it with him in class today. Okay. That would be a good use of time. Students are coming here?
That's the part I'm not sure right now.
Alright.
I may get those bills.
Alright. Let's see. What is this? What's going on? Oh, interesting. That's it? That's all I have? Grade 3, grade 6. Alright, who's here? Gio and Marie. Okay. Anything fun for the weekend you guys are doing? No. Okay. Okay. No. In that case, what are your non-fun plans? No fun ever. I'm going to do some reading, do some teaching, things like that. I don't think I'm going to do anything super fun. Just little things. Where are my other students? Non-fun plans. Anti-fun plans. No fun ever. Marie, I got your poem. I loved your poem. Your poem was really, really good. I hope you saw my email. Gio, I didn't get your homework. You didn't send me a poem. You'll have Korean class. You have Korean class? That's fun. That's fun. I love Korean class. That sounds great. What about you, Gio? Gio, anything fun? Where are my other students? It's just the two of you? Where are my other students? Where are my other students? Where are they? Where are they? Where are my other students? Gio, what are you doing this weekend? Anything fun? Nothing fun. Well.
Is everybody here?
No, just Gio and Marie. Just Gio and Marie. Define what to do. Page of vocabulary. Alright. So, well, yeah, maybe we should get started. But where are my other students? Where are Kevin, Jin, June, Sean? Where is everybody else? Just the two of you. Alright. Well, maybe we should just get started. We can look at some examples of poems too in a minute. We'll start with some vocabulary though. Okay. Let's get started with some vocabulary. How about that? Pew 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 pew. Pew, 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 pew. All right. So here, last time we did these words. Remember? Hysterical, crestfallen, incapacitated, perishable. We had fun with perishable. Lamented, ricocheted, ecstatic, mirth, survey, inquire, tormented, meandering, emerged, hovered, subtle, frolicked. Remember we talked about that? We talked about poetic devices, right? We talked about word choice. We talked about punctuation, rhythm, rhyme, stanzas, repetition, alliteration, and onomatopoeia. We read an example of a poem about whales, and then I gave you your homework. What is this? Oh, a geyser. I gave you your homework to write a poem, okay? Now we're going to continue on. We'll start with some vocabulary, and maybe we'll look at some other examples of poems after that. Let's start with our vocabulary. Where should I start with color? How about this one first? Okay, dark blue, indigo. Our first word is schemes. Ooh, this is a very thick pen. Down to 4. Schemes. Okay, a lot of times S or CH is like shh, it sounds like that, but this is schemes. The same way that schedule, schemes, right? Schemes. What is a scheme? A scheme is, we already know, it says a scheme is, so we know already that it's a noun, it's a thing. Okay. A scheme is a plan someone makes for getting in a clever way what he or she wants. Sounds like a long definition, right? A plan, it's a kind of plan, right? A scheme is a plan. What kind of plan? It's a plan someone makes for getting what they want in a clever way. If you guys read Aesop's Fables or Aesop's Fables, a lot of times it's the fox. The fox in the fable often has some schemes. They have some tricky schemes to get what they want, right? They kind of plan to trick people so they can have something special. It's a scheme. Okay? Maybe you guys make some schemes to get things that you want, tricking people. I don't know. Alright, our next word, word number 3 is exert, or number 3, I have to go in order. Number 2 is exerts. Exerts. Okay, I can ask you questions about these after we go through them all. Exerts. When something exerts pressure on something else, it pushes on that thing. Okay? This is a very tricky word to use. We never use it just by itself. We don't just say something exerts. it's always exerting something else. Exerts pressure or exerts force. Usually these sorts of things, right? To exert pressure or exert force is to push on that thing, okay? It's a verb. We have to be very careful about it like this, right? We don't just say, my brother exerts me. That doesn't make any sense at all, right? It has to exert force on me, something. What's an example? Something that exerts force on you. For example, it kind of sounds like a machine. Like it has a feeling like a person doesn't exert force so much. Like a machine exerts force, right? When I turn on the... Oh, no, how about this? To use a stapler, here's an example. To use a stapler, you must exert force on it, right? To use a stapler, you must exert force on it. Hello, Anthony. Hello. So we have 3 people now. Let me take attendance for the 3 that are here so far. What is this now? G6? G6 is Gio, Marie, Anthony. Okay, anybody else? Anybody else lurking? Anyone hiding in the shadows of the stream? We have 6 people watching this. Who are the other people here? Only 3 people have said hello. Who are my other 3 students? Who are you? Come say hello. Okay? Don't lurk. I have to take attendance so I know who's here. You have a bad grade or something. Nice if you don't say hi. Well, so far there's only 4 people, 3 students and me, right? Anthony, Marie, Gio, and me. So far only 3 people, but there are 6 people watching. So 7 people total, including me. So I don't know who the other 3 students are. There are 3 students who didn't say anything. Okay, you guys need to say something so I can take attendance. I have to write down who's here. Alright? So we were talking about exerts, right? We were talking about the tricky way to use exerts. Okay. Daniel is here. He was lurking, hiding. Daniel is here. This is page 14. RT page 14. You Steel's not coming? Alright. That's sad. No you Steel. Just me Steel. Academate. Academy. Academy. Okay, so you Steel's not coming? Okay. I was talking about the specific ways to use exerts, okay? Right? We don't say exerts. I exert my brother does not mean I push my brother, right? We always use it. We always use it like exerts force, exerts pressure, right? In fact, I can only think of 3 ways to use exerts off the top of my head. that I would use, okay? We usually only use exerts in the following 3 ways. Exerts force, exerts pressure, exerts himself, herself, self, exerts himself, ourselves, myself, right? Yeah. Oh, exerts himself. Okay. Okay. And these 3 ways are really the only way that we use exerts. Okay, it kind of sounds like almost like a machine, something that exerts. Amy, hello Amy. OMG, hi. OMG, I'm not going to type that. Alright, OMG, hi. What is that supposed to mean? What is OMG? We're studying vocabulary. So we're using exerts in these 3 ways. Right? Exerts force, exerts pressure, or exerts ourself. Right? So if you exert force on something, it means you're pushing it. Right? Here's an example. You could say, for example, to use a stapler, you must exert force on the top part. Right? Exert pressure. Right? Exert force here. To use a stapler, you must exert force on the top part, means to push it. To exert pressure, you can use this in 2 different ways. You can mean like physical pressure, can also mean like pushing something. So Daniel, Anthony, and Amy are here now too.
Hello, Kevin?
He's not coming today, so he's in the academy.
Oh.
That's what Daniel said.
Oh, maybe, yeah, because it's Friday. He goes to math academy now.
I see. Okay, so we use exerts, can exert force, exert pressure. Exert pressure in 2 different ways. Something like a tool can exert pressure. For example, your scuba tank exerts pressure on the air for you to breathe. You can also exert pressure using pressure kind of like stress or mental pressure, right? If you're playing soccer and you don't have a strong offense, then the other team's defense is too comfortable. They might move forward, right? You have to exert pressure on the other team's defense, right? It means to push them, right? Exert pressure on them. It's a different meaning when we say to exert yourself, to exert themselves, to exert himself, exert herself, exert myself, right? That means to try hard, right? To exert yourself means to try hard, usually physically, like running. Okay, so you're running, you have to exert yourself. I exerted myself running, right? It's like you're pushing yourself. Oh, Sean is here. ¿Cómo estás? Estoy bien, así. ¿Y tú? ¿Puedes hablar en español? I don't think I can teach this class in Spanish. I don't think other students can speak Spanish here. Sean, you're here early. Wonderful. You're usually so late. Alright, let me take attendance again. Let's see who is here. Gio, Marie, Anthony, Daniel, Amy. Oh, pen doesn't work. Amy and Sean. Excellent. Glad you are all here. Great. I want to say one more time, let me double check my email, but I only got 2 homework assignments unless someone just sent one now, which nobody did just now, right? I don't see any new homework. I don't see any new emails. Alright, I only got 2 homework assignments. Only got 2 homework assignments. Solamente 2 estudiantes sent in their homework. Only 2 students sent in their homework. They did a very good job. 2 students who sent in their homework. I would like if the rest of you also sent in your homework, okay? You were supposed to write a poem. Where is your poem, Gio? Where is your poem, Anthony? Where is your poem, Daniel? Where is your poem, Amy? Write your poems. Okay. Anyway, we were talking about exert. 3 ways we use exert. Exert force, exert pressure, exert yourself. We really don't often use exert in other ways. So really 99% of the time we use exert in those ways. Okay? Whew. Next one. Next word. Or do I have to review that word? I don't know. Schemes. Schemes, remember, is a noun, is a plan. A plan for getting something in a clever way, a thing that you want. So, for example, right, in a lot of Aesop's fables, or Aesop, I don't know exactly how to say it, Aesop fables, the fox makes schemes to get what he wants, right? Making these tricky plans to have the bird drop the cheese or something like that, right? I think that was one of them. You see it a lot in TV shows too, students or characters making schemes to get something that they want. Maybe I'll ask you to make a scheme for me. Alright, actually I'll do that now. I'll make you, this is your warm-up assignment. We didn't do any warm-up writing. Okay, so I would like you to tell me, or come up with a scheme to what's something you could scheme? A scheme to what could you trick someone? A scheme to skip school. Okay. Ooh, teaching you bad things. Just kidding. Because you're never going to use these. Right, but come up with a scheme that someone might use to skip school. Right? What kind of scheme might someone make to skip school and not get in trouble? More specifically, second question. Okay, let's see your answers. What kind of scheme might someone make to skip school and not get in trouble? You can fake your own death. How can you fake your own death? Show me how. Or don't show me how. Explain to me how. How can we fake your own death? Ooh. The sleeping pills to fake your own death, Sean? That's very, very dangerous. That's very dangerous. Don't. No, do not do that. No. That's a bad idea. Okay. Taking too many sleeping pills results in a non-fake death. Alright, so Marie, yes. Lie that you are sick. What's a different scheme? I need everybody to answer this question, not just Sean and Marie. Where are the rest of you? Gio, how can you make a scheme to skip school? Anthony, what is a scheme you can make to skip school? Daniel, a scheme you can make to skip school. Amy, a scheme you can make to skip school. Tell me about it. Make me a plan. What is your plan? How can you do that? What is your scheme? I want full sentences, good grammar. This is English class. Alright? So this is like short writing assignments. One, maybe like 2 or 3 sentences. Let's see some full answers, right? I want specific full answers. If you're going to lie that you're sick, tell me, what would you say? How could you pretend? Right? How would you trick them? Okay? I want some answers. Where are you all? Let's get some answers. Ah, you think your family would believe you because you never lie that you are sick. Alright, let's fix your grammar a little bit. I think my family would believe me because I never lie about being sick. Alright, that's good. Good to be honest. Glad to hear that you're honest. Good thing. You shouldn't lie about being sick. Right, so it's a good thing being honest. Act like you are a coronavirus patient. Act like you're a coronavirus patient. But then don't they put all of your information on the internet? Like if they think you have coronavirus, then all of your information goes on the internet. Everybody sees who you are and where you live and where you went, things like that. Like your name is everywhere, things like that. And they can also just check. They can check and then it's and then you don't have it, and then you have to go to school. I'm still waiting for answers from Gio, Daniel, and Amy. Send me your answers. Come up with a scheme. I would like some answers. I want to hear your answers, please. Answers, please. Answers, please. You fake coughing. Okay. Sure, you can do fake coughing. Then maybe you would stay home from school. It's not very creative schemes. I thought you guys would come up with more creative schemes. Come up with some really ridiculous things that you could do. What other things could you do? No other schemes? I can't wait for too long. I have to continue. We have to go over the other words. Why aren't the rest of you answering? I only have 3 answers. I don't want to wait for too long. I don't know if you're typing or if you're not typing anything. And should I wait? And should I not wait? I don't know. I'm going to continue. Our next word is rigged. Okay? Rigged. Kind of a strange way of pronouncing. Rigged. If you have rigged up an object, you have constructed it by using only materials that were available at the time. Okay? If you have rigged up an object, right? Something you do. You have rigged up an object, so it's an action. So we know it's a verb, right? It's a verb, it's an action. So rigged up an object, constructing it, you made it, you built it. You built it. You're only using materials that were available at the time. Okay, so maybe you don't have a lot of materials. You only have a little bit of materials, and you use it together to rig it up. Okay, example. Okay, rigged up. What can we say? Rigged up a car. Like this. For example, I thought that would be a good example here. Not a very good example. This is funny, yeah. Oh, these are nice pictures. Look at these pictures. Rigged up a car, right? The car door is missing, so they put the house door there, right? Here there's no air conditioner, they put the air conditioner on the outside of the car, right? They can't have exactly what they want, so they rigged it up, right? I could rig up a phone stand with like a rubber band and a microphone or something. I don't know, something like that. Right? You build it using only what you have. Next one is astounding. Astounding. When you find something astounding, so something astounding describes a something, so it's an adjective. When you find something astounding, it overwhelms you with surprise. Right? Something that is astounding overwhelms you with surprise. It's really shocking, amazing, surprising, astounding. Astounding is like very, very surprising. Okay? We can think of like astounding facts. Like your body has more cells that are bacteria than cells that are not bacteria. Right? That's one astounding fact I learned. Alright, here's another word. What color should I use next? Replica. I like this word. I think it's a very pretty word. Replica. A replica is an exact copy or model of an object, right? An exact model or copy of an object. If you go to a museum, they might have replicas of, well, people, or replicas of clothes, or replicas of old things. Right? They copy the old thing. It's a replica. It's kind of like we have like replicate. Replicate is a verb. Replicate is a verb. It means to copy something, to make a copy of something. Alright? Our next word is stabilize. Stabilize. When you stabilize something, you make it less likely to move in response to outside forces such as wind, right? We know the word stable. Stable is an adjective. Stabilize, I-Z-E. To make it stable means it's a verb, right? You can stabilize a house during an earthquake, maybe, or place a house that you're building in a place that has lots of earthquakes. Then you stabilize the house by adding lots of supporting pillars or something, kind of flexible ones that stabilize it. If your tree is growing sideways and it's going to fall down, sometimes you stabilize it with ropes. You tie it to another tree or something so that it's stabilized. Next one. Last one here. Disbanded. I like this word. Right? Band is like a group, right? Like a band, a music band. Disbanded, dis means like not. Disband is to split up a group. Disbanded is past tense or adjective, right? Split up as a group, right? Stop working together as a group is disbanded. Okay, so this here can be an adjective. I would say it's past tense verb or an adjective. A group is disbanded. Okay. What group? Name a group that make you sad if they disbanded. What's a group that would make you sad if they disbanded? If they stopped being a group, they all split apart. What group would make you sad? Or you can name a group that disbanded in the past. Pick one. Either one of those questions. Tell me a group that would make you sad if they disbanded, or you can tell me about a group before that is now disbanded. Alright, Hamilton's original cast. They have disbanded, right? They have disbanded. They've split up the group. Alright, and some other ones. They left Broadway a few years ago, right? Hamilton. Who else? I want some more answers. Hamilton's original cast disbanded. True, true, true. I need some more answers. I want some fast typers to answer my questions here. Tell me some more groups that have disbanded, or groups that would make you sad if they disbanded. Either one. If no group would make you sad if they disbanded, then just think of one in the past. What's a group that has disbanded in the past? I'm sure you can think of one. Why are people not answering my question? Only Sean answered my question. What about the rest of you? Where are my other students? Gio, answer the question. Marie, Anthony, Daniel, Amy, answer the question. You felt sad when Mamamoo disbanded because you liked their songs. Mamamoo. Oh, I see. I'm not sure if I know their singers, their songs. Daniel ate dinner, so you weren't answering? Okay, answer now then. Name a group that disbanded in the past. Name a group that would make you sad if they disbanded. Okay. Okay, so Marie, for one little grammar thing, because past tense, you say I felt sad when Mamamoo disbanded. Okay. Your past tense. I don't know if I know them. They seem very silly. Alright, let's see some more answers. Let's see some more answers. I want to see some more answers about disbanded groups. Tell me more, tell me more. Vincent. I don't know what that is either. Looks like it's just one person. Or are these three people together? The 3 people group? They split up? I don't know. Hey. Guys, this is English class. I see. Then you have to fix it. Right. Then you have to say, I would feel sad if Mamamoo disbanded because I like their songs. Let's see some more answers. Alright. Okay. Anyway. So last time we talked a little bit about poetry. We should continue talking about poetry then. Oh, it's just about break time. Okay. So after break, maybe we'll continue talking about poetry, okay? Break until 8 o'clock. Ah, G idol. Be sad if they broke up. Break time, break time, break time. I don't really. This. Isn't there like a. I didn't know the punctuation. I've seen their pictures a lot. I only know like 2 of their songs. I don't know much of their music. La ta ta. Anyway, break time. Yes. Ah, okay. I'll keep teaching you. Alright, so should I send them something to download? I'll tell them to download Zoom. I'll tell them to that. They're kind of quiet today. Well, I mean,
No, it's fine. I'll see you at 1.
So are you going to try Zoom here right now?
right now?
No, not right
I can try right now. Do you want me to?
No.
We can try it right now. I'll ask them if they have it. What about everybody else? The rest of you have Zoom? Monday. I think Monday. I'm pretty sure Monday, right? Pretty sure starting Monday is going to be our next class. Well, everybody else, break time is over. Where are you guys? Answer my question. Where are you? Where are my other people? Everybody needs to answer my question. Alright. Installed. Do you have class on Tuesday? Alright. We'll get back into work here. Where are my other students? What's going on? I have Marie, Sean, Anthony, Amy. Where are my other students? Where's Daniel? Where's Gio? Where are my other students? Gio's here with Daniel. Come on, we have to start class. Why is it taking us so long? We have to start class. Where is everyone? Where's Daniel? Why is it taking so long? Ah. Alright, we'll start without Daniel, okay? Here, we're gonna do some more poetry. Last time we started with poetry, but we didn't get a lot done. I'm gonna introduce some other poetry. Maybe you haven't seen before, maybe you have. This is a very famous poet named Robert Frost. Okay? So remember last time we talked about some different parts of poetry. Remember we talked about rhymes and rhythm and stanza, imagery, all these different things. Okay, so here's a nice winter poem I'll bring to you. Okay, a nice winter poem. Let me explain for you. Okay, stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Right. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. The little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Okay, so when we look at a poem like this, we try to understand a few different things. Some things stand out very easily. The rhyme stands out very easily. The rhythm stands out very easily. We can see it kind of sounds like a song, the way the lines and rhythms repeat each other. Okay, we think about who is narrating the poem. Okay, a person is narrating the poem. There's an I, right? It's in first person narration, right? We have an I, and it's largely like a description. Okay, this is some kind of description. What is happening? A description of a situation, a scene, right? That a lot of imagery here that we're seeing. Let's talk about the rhyme scene here. Okay, I think I know when we look at the rhymes of words, we talk about this end rhyme. It's a very common way of having rhyme. So no here. What does no rhyme with? Though. So a, and then here doesn't rhyme with though or no, so we call it B. And then snow rhymes with no and though, so we're back to A. Right? Here we have queer is here, the same one here. So it's B. Near is B. Lake doesn't rhyme with snow or near, so it's C. Year is B. Right? See how that works? This one kind of hints into the next stanza. Right? If you forgot, this is called a stanza. Where's the edge of my picture? Why can't I draw? This program is not very good. What's going on? So frustrating. Stanza. Okay. Alright. So, right, then we look at this next one. Shake is lake. So C, C. We see this is different. D, C. Okay. And then sweep rhymes with here. So this is D, 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 D. Okay. So we look at the rhyme schedule, the rhyme here. We have some repetition here and things like this. Okay. So we think about the purpose of this poem is to kind of set a scene or maybe give us a feeling. Okay. What kind of mood or emotions do you feel from this poem? Okay. I'm looking for an answer. I'm looking for an answer. What kind of mood or emotions do you feel? Daniel says, Okay, read it again. Okay, what's happening here? Someone's in the woods, stopping in the woods. It's snowing, right? Looking at the woods. Someone's woods, like the forest, right? So we see what's happening. Like the narrator is stopping here and watching the woods fill up with snow. Just stopping on the road and watching the snow fall into the forest. So here, my little horse must think it's queer. That kind of means like weird. That's the old use of the word. Now we use it in a different way, usually. Okay. To stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. Right? We have this setting here, this woods and a frozen lake. It's cold, it's snowing, the darkest evening of the year. Right? The horse shakes his bells. Why? To think some mistake. The horse is confused. Why are you stopping on the side of the road? Right? But the only other sound, the bells ring, but there's no other sound except the sweep of easy wind, so gentle wind, and downy flake, right? Soft snow falling. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep, right? He doesn't stay for very long. He's looking at the woods, but has to continue on, has to keep going. Okay, promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. A busy day traveling in the snow. Okay, so Daniel says peace. All right, I think I agree with that. Right, there's this feeling of peace, stopping on the side of the quiet road and watching the snow fall into the forest. Okay, we have some determination also, right? You can feel determination. Probably this ending part, right? We feel determination. Right? Promises to go, miles to go before I sleep. With this repetition, it kind of feels like determination, like working. Well, it's not completely an emotion, but it's kind of a mood, right? That's a feeling. I think that's a good answer. Determination, right? That's like an emotion. Close enough. What about other people? These are great answers so far. Peace and determination. Okay. So we understand these sorts of things. We can see what else. Right. We also talked about rhythm. Do you have alliteration of punctuation? Okay. Robert Frost uses proper punctuation. Right. Proper punctuation here. Everything. Right. Period. Semicolon. Period. Let's think about syllables. How many syllables is in every line, right? Whose woods these are, I think, I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. His house is in the village though, right? 8 syllables on every line. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. Do you notice that? Every line has 8 syllables. That's part of what gives this poem its rhythm. Every line has 8 syllables, and they also follow a rhythm. It's like, whose soft woods these are, I think I know, right? It's not, whose woods these are, I think I know, right? It's not that. It's the second, and the fourth, the sixth, and the 8th ones are accented, right? Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though, right? He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. Right? You can see the kind of precision, the exactness that goes into this. There's 8 syllables on every line, and every one is the first one is a soft syllable accent, soft accent, soft accent, soft accent, like that. For the whole poem, right? Right, so there's a lot of thought and precision that goes into this poem. We have some imagery here about what we see, and we have the feeling. Okay, as one example of a poem I want to talk about. We can talk about another one too. Should we talk about another poem? Give me just a second. I'm having trouble switching this around. Okay, I have to find the other file. Okay. Let me find you another interesting poem. Okay. Oh, where is it? Where is it? I can't show you that one. Oh, where is it? No. Well, it's not here. It disappeared. Disappeared. What's going on? Why? Hold on. Let me find it. It's gone. I'm sorry, this is taking a second. It was right here last time, and now it's gone. Frustrating. Problem. Okay. To find it again. Okay. I think I found it. Alright. I found it. Okay. See, I know I have another poem. Okay. This is a poem that doesn't rhyme. Okay. I couldn't find the poem, sorry. I found it again. Okay. Here's a poem that doesn't rhyme. Okay, it's written by someone named Amy L.V. I wanted to show you an example of a different kind of poem. Poems don't have to rhyme. Right. So let's read this one. Okay. This one's called Face Poem. I asked Grandpa, "Why is your face so wrinkly?" Mom hushes me with arrows from her eyes. Grandpa hushes her, raises my hand to his forehead. You write poems with pencil on paper. I write poems with years on my face. His hand over mine, Grandpa reads his forehead like Braille. My parents were poor but happy. He reads his... Do you guys know what Braille is? Braille is the language that how blind people read. Like it has the bumps on it. Have you guys seen this? Like you touch it with your fingers to read it. That is Braille. Okay. So Grandpa reads his forehead like Braille. He puts the hand on his forehead and reads it like Braille. My parents were poor but happy. He reads his cheeks. The war years made me a man. He reads his chin. I will always love Grandma. I touch the corners of his eyes and read every smile, every joke, as lines of poems of laughter fly to Grandpa's temples. Temples is like the side of your head, like shooting stars. Okay? So, we have a situation here, right? We have a narrator also talking. Is there any rhyme in this poem? Right? You'll notice that there's no rhyme in this poem. It's a very different kind of poem. There's no rhyme here, and there's no rhythm either, right? I asked Grandpa, 4 syllables. Why is your face so wrinkly? Right? 8 syllables. Mom hushes me, 4. With arrows from her eyes, 6. Right? It doesn't follow a pattern. There's no rhyme. And there's no clear rhythm pattern either. Okay? It's a different kind of poem. We can see here it still mostly follows correct grammar though. We have the capital letters, we have punctuation here. Okay? We have this kind of metaphor, figurative language, right? Mom hushes me with arrows from her eyes, right? Her eyes are shooting, right? Her eyes are shooting arrows at me, right? Metaphorical language, figurative language. Obviously, she's not actually shooting arrows, but it's the feeling, right? She looks at the narrator very like angrily, sternly, seriously. Okay, but Grandpa hushes her. We have some. This is kind of like a repetition here. Raises my hand to his forehead. You picture this. He puts the narrator's hand on his forehead, which is like right here. Like this is a forehead. Like here's your eyes. This is your forehead. Okay. A lot of times when people get old, they have the lines on their forehead. Okay. Raises my hand to his forehead. We notice here that this and this and this, these are italic. You can see the words are different, right? Instead of up and down, the letters are kind of like slanted, right? That means that it's talking or reading, right? It's kind of like using quotation marks. Okay? So, raise his hand to the paper. So this is what his forehead says. Or no, this is what he says. He's speaking this. You write poems with pencil on paper. I write poems with years on my face. His age writes poems on his face. So his hand over mine reads his forehead like Braille, right? Puts the narrator's hand on his forehead and moves it across like Braille. My parents were poor but happy, right? Do you think he's speaking this out loud? Are these words that he's saying? Or are these things that his forehead says? Right? Kind of leaves it a little bit open. I think maybe he's saying this out loud while his hand is on there, like he's translating. His cheeks say, the war years made me a man. His chin says, I will always love grandma, like this. Okay. I touch the corners of his eyes and read every smile, every joke, as lines of poems of laughter fly to grandpa's temples like shooting stars, right? What about this one? How does this poem, or maybe first, before we do that, yeah, we'll do that first. How does this poem, or maybe I should say kind of like this one, what kind of mood or emotions do you feel from this poem? What kind of mood or emotions do you feel from this poem? Alright, Marie felt sad. Alright. So you feel the wisdom of an old man. Aging. Getting old. Sad and impression. Alright. So we feel sad and impression, getting old, writing poem, pencil on paper. Who else? I want to hear some more poems here, or some more thoughts about that. Some more thoughts about that. Okay. So people getting sad, people getting old is kind of sad. It feels serious and mature, right? We see lots of positive things, right? We see here smile, joke, laughter, right? Even though this is very positive words, right? Smile, joke, laughter seem very positive. We still feel sad. Maybe that makes it even more sad, that we feel kind of this sad history, but he's still smiling and laughing and joking. And this, right, this kind of contrast, right? Being in the war, parents were poor, happy, right? We learn about his history, what made him who he is, right? We grow from our experiences. The things that happen to us make us who we are. So this kind of contrast here, we see this kind of sad things or things that happened a long time ago, and then we have these like positive things up here. This is positive too, right? Let me see here. Right, we even notice there's like some hinting here, right? So mom is here, grandpa is here. He says, I will always love grandma. But grandma's not there, right? Grandma doesn't hush her. Grandma doesn't say anything. So maybe we can assume, right? There's kind of hinting that grandma is not there, right? Grandma is not just not in the room. Maybe grandma has died or something, right? We have that kind of feeling here because grandma's not in the room. So it makes us feel sad, the history, and then but he's smiling and laughing, and that contrast gives us a really strong feeling. Like, contrast is a very powerful tool in writing, just like art, just like music. Having contrast is what makes it powerful, putting the sad and the happy next to each other. You hear? I write poems with yours on my face, made me feel sad. Yeah, right? I write poems with yours on my face. I agree. Okay. Can you find some examples? Figurative language I didn't mention. Yeah. So figurative language, remember, are things like similes and metaphors, right? Saying things that aren't exactly right, but or that aren't exactly true, but are kind of true. Anybody? Some examples of figurative language? Examples of figurative language. I summarize everything? Well, not quite exactly. Okay, so like this, right? The lines of poems fly, right? We have some obvious similes here, right? Fly like shooting stars, right? Things like this. We see some other things. Remember, I did talk about like this, like Braille as a metaphor. I talked about arrows in the eyes, right? Right, as lines of poems. There's a lot of similes here. This whole thing is lots and lots of similes. Okay, I'm going to show you a poem that's a little bit different now. One more for you. Okay, let me pull it up. Let me open the last one up. I only got 2 students' poems for homework. Kind of disappointing. I wanted everybody to write poems, but I only got 2 people's poems. Disappointed. Okay, I found this one. Good. Good. I think it's the right size. Alright. So here's another one. It's kind of a little bit silly. Okay. Here's a poem by Frank O'Hara. Okay. It's about this person, but not this person. Alright. Let's just read it. Let's read it. Let's see this. Let me get a little... I don't want to zoom it. Okay. Let's look at it. Poem. Lana Turner has collapsed. She was a famous actress. Lana Turner has collapsed, like fallen down. I was trotting along, and suddenly it started raining and snowing, and you said it was hailing, but hailing hits you on the head hard, so it was really snowing and raining, and I was in such a hurry to meet you, but the traffic was acting exactly like the sky, and suddenly I see a headline, Lana Turner has collapsed. There is no snow in Hollywood. There is no rain in California. I have been to lots of parties and acted perfectly disgraceful, but I never actually collapsed. Oh, Lana Turner, we love you. Get up. I love this poem. Okay? So, tell me a couple things you notice about this poem. Show me a couple things you notice. What did you notice about this? Lots of rhymes? What are some things that rhymes here? Are there really rhymes here? I don't think there are rhymes. There aren't really rhymes in this. And this is one a little bit more modern. Okay. One of the things that sticks out to me that's very different from the other one is that the grammar is not all correct, right? He breaks with the grammar. See here, we only have here, we have like the exclamation points, but there are no periods and no commas. Oh, here, it expresses a lot of rushing attitude and contradictions. Good, this is very nice, right? Rushing attitude and contradictions. Very good, right? We see here, I was trotting along, suddenly it started raining and snowing, and you said it was hailing, but hailing hits you on the head hard, so it was really snowing and raining, right? Kind of like this, and it's rushing, right? There's no periods or no commas. It's a run-on sentences. The grammar's not correct, right? This and this and this and this, but this and this, right? How does it make you feel, right? This kind of rushing attitude. It makes me feel like we're running along and there's some kind of problem, right? This is all very much a rush, and then this kind of is very strong here with the bold headline, okay? And then here the repetition. There is no snow in Hollywood. There is no rain in California, right? Like this, right? There's no full sentences here except for these, right? There's not full sentences and incorrect grammar. gives us this feeling of rushing and being worried, and you're running somewhere. Very like complex feelings. Complex feelings like this. Okay, so lots of different ways you can write poetry. It can be descriptive. You can tell a scene. You can tell a story. You can tell just one thing. You can use symbols. You can use all kinds of different meanings in figurative language, or you don't have to at all. Right? You can write very straightforward. There are lots of different ways you can write it. I just want to show you all these different examples, because I think it helps you be creative when you see more different examples, more different examples of what you can do. Otherwise, people might feel stuck. They can only do a couple little things, or every line has to rhyme. It's not true at all. You don't have to do that with poetry. Okay? So I want to see lots of creativity. I like seeing your creativity. Okay? So today we did some vocabulary, and we looked at three different poems. We analyzed them together to try to understand the narrator, try to understand the situation, and some of the poetic devices that they're using in it. Remember that you really don't have to use all of these devices together, but if you think about what kind of effect they have, right? If you use repetition, what kind of effect it is, how does it feel? If you use punctuation or not use punctuation, how does that feel? Right? Think about, what are you trying to tell with your poem? What kind of feeling do you want the audience to feel? And how do we do that? How do we make that happen? Okay? So I only got 2 people's poems last time. A little bit disappointed. I would like if everybody did their homework. Okay? Next class we're going to be using Zoom. Okay? Next class, I'll say this one more time. Next class, we are going to be using Zoom, so make sure you download it. Okay. Next class, we're going to be using Zoom, so make sure you download it. Alright. And then just check. Alright, so make sure you download Zoom. Very, very, very important. We're going to be switching. I don't want you to come to class on Monday and then you can't connect to the class. That would be a problem, right? That would be a problem. Okay, your homework is to find a poem in English. And choose any poem in English. Send it to me. Definition of the poem. Devices. Okay, so your homework now you're going to be analyzing, right? So I want you to use the internet, find a poem, right? Find one that you like, read it, and then your homework, you have to send it to me and tell me what you think about it. Okay, so it's a little bit of reading homework. Okay, we live in a modern day, kids have internet. I want you to learn how to use it properly, right? So you have to find it, read as many as you want. Maybe read 10 different ones and pick one. What do you like? Right? Just search around for it. Find one that you like. And then tell me why you like it, and tell me what you think about it. Right? Tell me how does it make you feel. Tell me what kind of poetic devices there are in it. Okay? So I really want you to take advantage of it. There's many different ways you can find poems. You can just go on Google and you can search poems, right? There are websites you can use, right? Like, what is it called? Poetry.com, right? You can go to poetry.com. Oh no, it's not poetry.com. You can just find different poetry websites. Hello Poetry, allpoetry.com. Okay. If you're having trouble finding a poem, you can look on poetry.com. What's another one? Poets.org. Okay. Alright, and then that's it for today. Alright, that's your homework. You have to do that. I want everybody to do the homework. Last time I only got 2 homework assignments. Kind of disappointed. Okay, I want you guys to do your homework. Okay, you have to write this. You have to do it. Find it, read it, write it. Alright, that's the end for today. I will see you next time on Zoom. Alright, goodbye. Have a good weekend. I hope you all have a very good weekend. Goodbye.